Imagine a world your two leaders, supposed allies in the fight against crime, suddenly turn on each other with accusations flying like sparks in a powder keg. That's the shocking reality unfolding as the United States slaps sanctions on Colombian President Gustavo Petro, claiming he's dragging his feet on halting the surge of cocaine into American streets. But here's where it gets controversial. Could this be a genuine crackdown on drug lords? Or is it just another political power play fueling tensions between nations? Stick around, because this story dives deep into international diplomacy gone wrong. And trust me, it's one you won't want to miss. Picture this. Colombian President Gustavo Petro is standing tall at Dag Hammarskjöld Plaza outside the United Nations headquarters in New York City, rallying with pro-Palestinian demonstrators during the 80th United Nations General Assembly on September 26, 2025. It's a moment captured by Reuters' Bing Guan, showing a leader who's no stranger to global stages. Fast forward to October 24th, and the news breaks from Washington. The U.S. has officially imposed sanctions on Petro, pointing fingers at him for allegedly failing to curb the torrent of cocaine flooding into the country. This bold step escalates pressure on the Latin American figure who's been at odds with President Donald Trump, marking what experts call a historic low in US-Colombia relations. Trump himself has publicly branded Bogotá as complicit in the shadowy world of illicit drug trafficking. For those new to international policy, sanctions are like economic handcuffs. They restrict financial dealings, freeze assets, and limit travel for targeted individuals. This isn't just any sanction. It's a rare move against a sitting head of state, placing Petro in exclusive company alongside leaders from Russia, Venezuela, and North Korea. It's unprecedented in recent times, but not totally unheard of, serving as a stark reminder of how far Washington will go to protect its borders. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent laid it out clearly in a statement. Ever since President Gustavo Petro took office, Colombia's cocaine output has skyrocketed to levels unseen in decades, inundating the U.S. and endangering American lives. He emphasized that Petro has supposedly let drug cartels thrive unchecked and ignored calls to dismantle their operations. This is why President Trump is stepping in decisively, Bessent continued, to safeguard our homeland and send a clear message: we won't stand for drugs infiltrating our society. Petro, never one to back down, fired back on X, formerly Twitter, defending his lifelong battle against drug trafficking. "I've been combating this scourge effectively for decades," he posted, "yet here I am, penalized by the very nation we aided immensely in curbing their cocaine habit. It's an absurd contradiction, but I won't retreat an inch, and I'll never kneel." His words paint a picture of betrayal, highlighting the irony of being targeted after years of cooperation. The sanctions don't stop with Petro. They've also ensnared his wife, his son, and Colombia's Interior Minister Armando Benedetti. This expands the net under U.S. laws, empowering Washington to go after anyone accused of ties to the global narcotics underworld. And this is the part most people miss. These measures could ripple through families and governments, potentially isolating key players and complicating everyday lives in ways that go beyond politics. To understand the backdrop, Trump and Petro have been locked in a series of heated exchanges since the Republican took the White House in January. Tensions boiled over with U.S. airstrikes on suspected drug-running ships in the region, sparking a feud that's only intensified. Just last weekend, Trump hinted at jacking up tariffs on Colombia, and by Wednesday, he announced a halt to all funding for the country. It's like watching a diplomatic chess match where every move risks checkmate. Petro, for his part, has vowed to rein in coca cultivation, those leafy plants that fuel cocaine production, through sweeping social reforms and beefed-up military efforts. Yet, results have been meager, leaving critics questioning the effectiveness of his approach. Is it a matter of insufficient resources, or perhaps deeper systemic issues in Colombia's rugged terrains? This opens up a whole can of worms. What's the real root of the drug trade? greed, poverty, or something else entirely? Reporting this gripping tale were Daphne Saladakis and Doina Chiaku from Washington, Julia Symes-Cobb from Bogota, and Brendan O'Boyle from Mexico City, with sharp editing by Leslie Adler and David Gregorio. And remember, we're guided by Thomson Reuters trust principles, ensuring accuracy and integrity in every word. Daphne Saladakis, a seasoned foreign policy reporter in D.C., specializes in sanctions, African affairs, and State Department dynamics. Her portfolio includes covering Russia's sanctions post-Ukraine invasion, U.S. enforcement strategies, and responses to Ethiopia's turmoil. Before that, she delved into EU politics, energy, and climate issues during a fellowship in Brussels. Armed with degrees in journalism and international studies, she's a go-to for these complex stories. There you have it, a tale of sanctions, accusations, and international strife that's got everyone talking. But let's turn it on its head. Is the U.S. right to single out Petro, or is this a heavy-handed tactic that ignores Colombia's struggles? Could Petro's defiance be heroic resistance against bullying, or just stubborn denial? What do you think? Does this strengthen global drug fights, or does it sow seeds of resentment that could backfire? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear if you agree, disagree, or have a fresh angle on this brewing controversy.